Bismillahirrahmanirrahim and Assalamu alaikum dear students. How are you all? I hope you all will be doing fine in the wake of current situation. You would be sticking to the definition of isolation as they call it, not just for the sake of your own self but for the sake of others. Now girls, I hope you all would have been through the previous 3 lessons of week 1, week 2 and week 3. Today we are heading on to the lesson of week 4, which is about logarithms and the laws of logarithms. This chapter will be taken from the book, which is the reference book of Punjab Textbook Board of General Mathematics, the previous 3 lessons as well. Current exercise that we are dealing with is exercise 6.4. As I already told you, it is about logarithms. Now logarithms are directly linked to exponents. You have studied about exponents in detail in the previous 3 lessons. You already know the concept of those. If you still do not know the concept of it, please go back, redo the exercises and then join this lesson for exercise 6.4, the introduction of logarithms. So what are the objectives of learning about the logarithms? What are the objectives for today's lesson? By the end of this topic, you, my dear students, would be able to define the logarithms of a given number to the given base a, which is generally taken as any base, to the power which it is raised to in order to get the given number. Then you will be able to define what is a common logarithm, what is its characteristic and mantissa. You will be able to use calculator and ishara to find the logarithm of a number. You will be able to define the concept of anti-logarithm and apply the laws of logarithm after knowing what actually. Now the question arises, we are using the word logarithm again and again. What actually is a logarithm? Well, my dear students, it is not a new concept. It is just a new way of expressing something which is already expressed in the form of an exponent. Yes, exponent, which you call a power. As you can see on this part, where we have 2 raised to some power is equal to 8. Can you see this? How many times 2 should be multiplied to itself in order to get 8? Can you think about it? How many times should 2 be multiplied with itself to get 8? Yes, you are right. 2 when multiplied by itself 3 times give you 8. 2 2s are 4 and then 4 2s give you 8. So we can say that 2 cube is equal to 8 or 2 raised to the power 3 is equal to 8. How can this exponent be converted into a logarithm? While converting an exponent into a logarithm, if you look at the lower part of the slide over here, you can see that when we shift an exponent into a logarithm, the base of exponent becomes the base of logarithm, log of 2. As you can see that 2 stays at its place, whereas the remaining 2 numbers will be shifted from the right hand side of the equation to the left hand side. 8 which was on the right hand side comes to the left and 3 which was on the left hand side comes to the right to make it logarithm of 2 base to 8 is equal to 3. So here we can say that in this example the exponent takes 2 and 3 to give us 8 and the logarithm takes 2 and 8 to give us 3. So a logarithm basically tells us that how many times one number is to be multiplied to get another number. I repeat, how many times a number is to be multiplied in order to get another number. So basically logarithm is the exponent as its own answer. Just as we shifted or converted an exponent into a logarithm, similarly we can convert a logarithm into an exponent, as you can see over here with the help of arrows. Y can be converted into x again by saying that x is equal to logarithm of a to y, where a is the base and y is the number for which we are taking the logarithm of it. Since an exponent can be converted into a logarithm and logarithm can again reversibly be converted into an exponent, so these are called the inverse functions. The functions become inverse of each other. We are talking about the logarithm and its exponent. Exponent is the one which is given in the power form. We've already done the exponents in detail in lesson 1, lesson 2 and lesson 3 of the previous 3. We already know them. Now Before we move on to solving the logarithms of a given number, we should know some important facts about them. First and foremost of it is, logarithm of a negative number is not defined at this stage. You just won't ever get the logarithm of a negative number to be calculated. You will always find the logarithm of a positive number. And what are the positive numbers? Greater than 1, greater than 0 or less than 0? Think about it. I repeat my question again. What are the positive numbers? Greater than 1, greater than 0 or less than 0? The answer is, the positive numbers are all which are greater than 0. So whenever we are finding the logarithm of a number, that number would be greater than 0 for sure. Then the logarithms are useful tools for accurate and rapid computations. Logarithm with the base 10 is known as a common logarithm, whereas a logarithm with the base e is known as the natural logarithm. After learning about the basics of logarithm, we are moving on to two very important and basic parts of the logarithm. A logarithm basically consists of two parts. After taking the logarithm, what do we get? Two parts. First one is called the characteristic, which is on the left hand side of the decimal, and the other one is the mantissa on the right hand side or the decimal part. Consider the table which is given. 10 cube is equal to 1000. Am I right? As we know that cube, the exponent, tells us if it is 10 cube, then 10 cube means 10 multiplied by 10 multiplied by 10. 10 is multiplied by itself for 3 times to give you 1000. When we convert 10 cube is equal to 1000 into the logarithmic form, it becomes log of 10 to 1000 is equal to 3. Now here you've seen all the examples, the base 10. I haven't written down the base 10. Why? Read the note please, read it carefully. By convention, if only the common logarithms are used throughout the discussion, then the base 10 is not written. That is why I have skipped writing the base 10. So, if you are discussing only the logarithms with base 10 or the common logarithms, then you can skip 10. Then it is already understood that we are basically talking about the common logarithms or the logarithms with the base 10. Now we observe that the logarithm of any number consists of two parts, an integral part which is positive for a number greater than 1 and negative for a number which is less than 1. And it is called the characteristic of the logarithm of a number. So what am I saying here? For all the numbers which are greater than 1, it may be 1 point something, 2 point something, 3 point something, or even 1 million point something or 1 trillion point something. For all the numbers which are greater than 1, we see that the integral part is positive. But when we are talking about the numbers which are less than 1, now I said we will always be taking the logarithm of numbers which are positive. So even if it is less than 1, it will be greater than 0. What are the numbers which are lying between 0 and 1? All the numbers which will be starting from 0 point to something else, 0.1, 0.2, 0.000756, and all such numbers would be greater than 0 but less than 1. For all these numbers, the characteristic will be negative. We will discuss this negative thing later. But the second point says that the decimal part, the numbers which come after the point, after the decimal, is always positive, and it is called the mantissa of the logarithm of a number. Here we notice one thing, that it says that the mantissa is always positive. It is a very important point for MCQs, girls. Please note it down properly, write it down on some sticky note and put it on your book, write it down on the book as well. Mantissa of the logarithm of a number is always positive, whereas characteristic can be positive or negative. Characteristic is positive for numbers greater than 1 and negative for numbers less than 1. So looking on the later part of the slide, where we see that we are taking logarithm with the base 10 of 15 is equal to 1.176. Now girls, please take out your calculators and write log with the base 10, then write 15. You will see that we get 1.176. If you do not know how to type the base on the logarithm, then simply type log round bracket 15 bracket close, and you will get the answer which is already written on the screen. It is 1.176. Here 1, which is written before the decimal, is characteristic, and 3 numbers after the decimal, 0.176, make up the mantissa of the logarithm. After taking the logarithm of this number, we consider 5 different numbers. Please read the numbers once. Is there any relation between these numbers? If you observe, you will see that there are the same significant digits which are being repeated. The first part says log 37.203, the second one says log 3.7203, third one says log 372030000, fourth one says log 0.0000372203, and the last one says log 0.37203. What is common here? Other than the zeros, the numbers are, the significant figures are 37203 in all 5 parts. So we start taking their logarithms. For the first part, as we see that the characteristic will be taken by the integral part, as we have discussed in the previous slide. Integral part is 37. What is the integral part? 37. It consists of 2 integers. So 2 minus 1 gives us 1. Characteristic will be 1 point something something. Second one says 3.7203. The integral part consists of 1 digit only, which is 3. So 1 minus 1 is equal to 0. That is why you can see that the characteristic is 0.5705. Then it is a logarithm of 372030000. How many numbers in the integral part? 9. Just like the previous 2 parts, again we will subtract 1 from this 9 to get 8, and the characteristic becomes 8.5705, which is the mantissa. Fourth part shows us logarithm of 0.0000372203. How many numbers in the characteristic part here? None. How many zeros after the decimal then? There are 4 zeros after the decimal. So right now we are standing at minus 4. Just like the previous 3 parts, again we will subtract 1. Minus 4 minus 1 gives you minus 5. Here you can see minus 5. Minus 5 can also be written as 5 bar. The bar is placed above 5. Whenever, while taking the logarithms, you see a bar on the upper part of a number that shows a negative sign. The last part, it shows you 0.37203. How many numbers in the integral part? No number. How many zeros after the decimal? 0, 0. So just like the previous 4 parts, we will subtract minus 1. So 0 minus 1 gives you minus 1. The characteristic becomes minus 1 or 1 bar. Now about taking the mantissa. Please type log bracket 37.203 bracket close. What answer do you get? 1.5705. Now type log bracket 3.7203. What answer do you get? 0.5705. If you observe that in the first part, the mantissa was 0.5705. Similarly, in the second part, mantissa is 0.5705. Now take the logarithm of the third number by using your calculator, and again you will see that the mantissa is 5705, and it continues for all the parts. So what do we learn over here? We learn that if the order of significant digits is the same, after taking the logarithm, the mantissas will not be changed at all. There is one more important thing, girls. In all the logarithms, you would have noticed that I have written 4 decimals. You should also write up till the 4 decimal, and the 4th one would be rounded off to get a correct and accurate answer. So, when we round up how to take the logarithm of a number, we see that the first step is round off the number to 4 significant digits. Find the characteristic of the logarithm of a number by inspection, as we inspected in the previous part by looking at how many numbers are there in the integral part or how many zeros are there after the decimal. Then find the mantissa of the logarithm of a number using the log table or by using calculator. Wherever you see the word log table written, you will refer to the calculator. Then we combine the characteristic and mantissa. When I say combine the two, it means we are combining the characteristic and mantissa. Characteristic is written on the left hand side. Then we place a dot, point, decimal, and the mantissa is written on the right. Now, for some practice, please try this. You all need to have your scientific calculators with you before trying this part. We have to find the logarithm of log 278.03. Take out your calculators and type log round bracket 278.23 bracket close, and there you will see that the answer is 2.4443. Did you get the same answer as well? If not, please reset your calculator because its setting might be messed up. For taking the logarithm of the second part, which is log 0.07058, how many zeros after the decimal before the first significant digit? Because it is a number which is less than 1 but obviously a positive number. There is a 1 zero after the decimal, so I subtract 1 from this minus 1. It becomes minus 2. That is why the characteristic is minus 2. Or you can see in the last step we have 2 bar. Then to find the mantissa, take out your calculator and type log bracket 007058 bracket close without typing the decimal, and you will get the mantissa, which is 0.8487. I hope you get the correct answers. If not, please refer to the videos given in the reference section to use the calculator. Now, the last but obviously not the least part of it is the laws of logarithm. What are the basic laws of logarithm? There are 4 basic laws of logarithm, but in general maths for grade 9th, we will be referring to the 3 laws of logarithm only. The first one is about the addition or the sum of the logs. The second one is about the difference of the logs, and third one is about the exponent being converted into a multiple. For the first law of the logarithms, as you can see in the pink box, we have logarithm with the base a of m multiplied by n is equal to, as the bracket opens, the multiplication sign has been converted into an addition sign, as you can see over here. So this multiplication sign has been converted into addition sign by making logarithm with the base a of m plus logarithm with the base a of n. We call it the log of multiplication, which is the sum of the logs. Using the property and the laws of logarithm, we can say log of any number with the base, when 2 are multiplied, on opening it we get 2 different logarithms, and the multiplication sign is changed with an addition sign. So the log of multiplication is basically the sum or the addition of logs. Now for the second part, logarithm with the base a of m slash n, where slash refers to the division sign, is equal to, after opening up the bracket we can see that the division sign has been changed into a subtraction sign. Multiplication changed into addition and division changed into subtraction. So logarithm with the base a of m minus logarithm with the base a of n. This is called the log of division, which is the difference of log. In the last 3 lines you can see all the 3 laws summed up. We have discussed the first and second one, and the third one you can see logarithm with the base a, and then there is a power n is equal to n. The power which was written as an exponent of m becomes the multiple n multiplied by log with the base a of n. These log of logarithm. These laws are used to simplify the complex equations or expressions involving a lot of logarithms by converting them into a single logarithm. You can see this in the next example, which says log 5 plus log 6 minus log 2. What did we learn in the previous slide? That the addition sign is converted into multiplication and the subtraction sign is converted into division. So I can write as log 5 multiplied by 6, and the 2 of subtraction goes in the denominator to make it log 5 into 6 divided by 2. You can also write it after simplification. 5 6's become 30, divided by 2 is 15, so it can also be written as log 15. Then another example, logarithm of a multiplied by b is equal to log of a plus log of b. Multiplication sign, as you can see here, is converted into addition. As you would have seen in these examples, there was no base given. Why? Because it shows these are the common logarithms with the base 10. Right, the base 10. This is now the time, girls, for some self-assessment. Please refer to the exercise 6.4 of your books and solve the questions given over there and learn all the 3 laws as discussed previously. If you face any difficulty in solving the above mentioned, then please refer to the videos which are whose links have been given in the resource section. They will help you out actually a lot. Now, just a recap of what we did today. We learnt about the numbers which are greater or less than 1 to find out the logarithm. Then we learned how to use the calculator to find the logarithm of a number, and last but not the least we learned about the application of the 3 laws of logarithm in order to solve or simplify the expression. A quick roundup of how to take the logarithm of a given number. A given number would either be greater than 1 or less than 1. The top option refers to the case when we have to take the logarithm of number which is less than 1. When it is less than 1, it would be 0 point something. First of all, we have to find out the characteristic by inspection as told, and then we have to find the mantissa by using the calculation without typing the decimal. I repeat again, without typing the decimal, you will get the correct mantissa. And if the number is greater than 1, 2.345, 365.67, then just type it as it is on the calculator and you will get the. My dear girls, this one is a very important lesson and it lays the foundation stone or the base of your next exercise, which is 6.5. In next week, we will discuss about 6.5. It is a very important exercise. We always get a short question as well as a long question from this exercise. So I would expect you all to please go through it properly, go through all the links, the whole presentation in order to learn the topic properly. If you have any ambiguities or any questions, please post them in the class groups. I'm added in the groups. I'll discuss with you inshallah over there what are the things that you want to discuss over there. And start today. It is your time to rise and shine, girls, because if you will not do it now, then it will be too late for you to try it. In the end, girls, I would like to conclude by something that Winston Churchill once said: success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. So my dear girls, I expect you all to continue with full zeal and fervor. Wish you all the very best for the coming weeks and for this lesson. See you soon inshallah. Goodbye and Allah Hafiz.